Hello friends, it is Chelsea and welcome on back. Today I'm going to be sharing with you my planner stack for 2025. Yeah, this is going to conclude my Christmassy catch-up series, so I hope you all have enjoyed. The problem is that now that I'm caught up, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be falling behind again. I've never been able to maintain like every other week up, or just like being like 1 week behind in uploading. And that's definitely going to continue into the new year. And I do print and cut my own scripts. And so I can get about 3 weeks on one page, which means that I usually run about 3 weeks behind, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how this goes. I don't know. But I want to show you guys my planner stack for 2026. Did I say 25? I meant 26. But yeah, so I have 3 planners. My goal is to kind of show you, maybe do some flip throughs. I don't know. I gotta work editing magic, which probably most of you know I'm not good with editing and magic. So let's just get right into it. First things first, the planner. So I am going to be continuing to use an A5 wide rings system for 2026. This is the folio that I'm currently using. I did buy a new folio, however, I think what I'm going to do is just move. I have the first half of the year in the new folio, it's over there. I think I'm just going to move the second half of the new folio of the year. I'm going to move the second half of the year, which is in here, into the new folio, and then just use that to store 2025 and use this for 2026 again. So this is an Aura Estelle. I think this is the Blossom. And I've just got a bunch of random stuff in here. Postcard. This is a journaling card, I believe, from Cafe with Anna. This sticker I bought at a Theory of a Dead Man concert. This money clip was my great grandpa's, and then this was from a friend. It says, "I can't talk right now, I'm reading hot girl shit." And then in the back here, I just have a few stickers that I had purchased for to put on my car, but it turns out they were not car friendly stickers. So they live in the back of my planner, as well as a Mandalorian postcard that I bought from Redbubble. And then, yeah. So my inserts for next year, I am using the Caress Press A5 wide month and date, or month and week. These are undated. She did not have an option for a dated month and week. She had continuous dated, but I did not want continuous, so that's that. These are just basic inserts. They look exactly the same as the inserts I'm using now, other than the fact that they don't have dates on them, which who cares? I use date covers. I have date dots. I have days of the week scripts. Like things can work out. The next thing that I have, this is my daily planner. So for 2025, I have been using an Erin Condren Daily Duo, which, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, like I love the layout of it. I love how simple it is. It literally just has the date, a to-do section, and a time section, as well as a blank section for you to put whatever you want in there. And I've been using it just, to-do section over here, tracking meals, as well as books that I've read, just anything like that, any events that are happening, like things work out pretty well in there. But for 2026, I almost bought another Daily Duo, but it's $70 just flat for the Daily Duo. It's $70. And I was like, I think I can do better than that. So this is from Blue Sky. It is from the Day Designer line, and it's a pretty basic planner. It's got a few more sections to it, so it does have a top 3 personal as well as like hydration tracker in the corner, and then it has a today section with a timed list as well as a to-do section with spaces, and then it has a notes section down here at the bottom. It's very, very basic, very, very neutral. I've used something like this in the past. I think last year, I think 2024, I used something similar to this as a daily planner, and it worked out just fine. I do love the Daily Duo, and if I decide later on down the road that that is something I want to switch to, I will take care of that. I think my dog's coming up, so if you guys see the little brown thing crawling in the back, she walks, but if you see her in the back, that's Charlie. And then my reading journal, which I'm the most excited about. This is the Archer and Olive storybook in olive, because if you guys don't know, green has become my favorite color this year. It's just a color of renewal and of happiness and all of the things, and I really enjoy it. And then this is in the B5 size, so it's huge. Like, it's as big as my head, which is fine. So yeah, I'm very excited about this. I've got it set up for the most part. So I think what I'm going to do is take you down to a view of my desk, and I will show you the flip through. All right, friends, the official flip through, we are going with a jungle theme. So I'm trying my best to maintain the integrity of this reading journal. Let me flip you out just a little bit more. There you go. So we've got our lovely cover page with my name on it, of course. And then we jump right into my key. So my color scheme this year is going to be very neutral with a hint of green because I love green. So we've got our star ratings as well as our like format key. And then we do have a year in pixels. Now, I'm going to use this mostly to track the days in which I finish a book. However, that may change, and depending on how well I'm able to track it, I may come in here and track the days in which I read a book, as well as the days in which I finish a book. So I want to keep track of reading and see, like, okay, is there a common theme of like, I read a lot and finish a lot over the weekends, but during the weekdays, maybe like Monday or Tuesday, I have a slump off or something like that, or like the beginning of the year or the beginning of the month type of thing. I do have my A to Z tracker, so my plan for this year is to track just like I did for 2025, 2026. I'm hoping to be able to do both book title and author for each one of these. I've noticed that some of my authors, really, really easy, but book titles is another story. So I'm interested to kind of keep track of like, okay, what am I able to accomplish, basically. And then down here at the bottom, I do have a Read the Rainbow tracker. My idea is essentially to just, every time I finish a book with that particular color of cover, the first one anyway, I will print the cover out and cover up what I have colored. So instead of having like actual colored representation of the rainbow, it would be a book cover to represent that color. We also have book bingo. Something else that I really kind of got annoyed with for this year was my book bingo, and how I wasn't able to keep track of the book that actually represented the prompt that I finished. So my goal for this year, I have this empty grid. I'm going to mark off the books here, but fill in the books here as to what I actually read. So that is my goal for that. We also have the Ghosty Goober challenge. So this is a challenge put on by like the Goober Readathon group. Jashi, Corinne, Rachel, and I think Monica is the other one. They put together a challenge. I think this is the 3rd year that they've done this. And this year Ghosty Goober wants to open up a micro bakery. And so each month you get 2 different baked items as that correspond to 2 different prompts. So you pick a prompt, you pick a baked good that gives you your prompt, and then you complete a book. So my goal is kind of, honestly, what I would like to do is print out a little picture of the baked good that I complete, as well as the book cover, and put that in here. So it'd either be the book cover, or if it ends up being easier for me, it may just end up being the book. Like, I may just handwrite the book title in, I'm not sure. And I do have some extra space down here. I was looking through, I think they offer some like bonus books, so I may see if I can complete some of those, and that's what this blank space is for. We have my location tracker. This changed from what I had originally placed. I had put down a world map on here and wanted to track where in the world I had read a book, but honestly, all of my books this year were based in the United States. Well, I shouldn't say all of them. They were either based in the United States or they were based somewhere in Europe. I don't venture out very far from that. So, unfortunately, this is what I've got. I've literally just got a map of the United States. And then we have my goal tracker. So this is more of my Goodreads tracker. I kind of messed some stuff up and had to rip out a page. And so now things are a little wonky in here, but I think we can make it work. I may end up taping the pages together, I'm not sure. My official goal is to read 75 books. However, I would love to make it to 100. I think right now I'm like at 80 something for 2025. So I'm thinking, step up the game a little bit. We could probably finish closer to 90 books, which would be amazing. We also have my Read My Stash. This is, if you did not catch my flip through from last year, basically, or from 2025, essentially, I wrapped up all of the books that I owned at the beginning of 2020, or at the end of 2023. I wrapped up every single book that I owned at that time, and I numbered them 1 through, I thought it was 300, but it was actually 301. I miscounted. And so basically my plan for this is to just try to get through some of the books that I own. And the problem is that this isn't even all of them. I now have I purchased so many books this year, and I haven't read any of those either, because I want to read this stuff before I read the new stuff. So, and also I will link down below the clip art packs that all of these bits came from, as well as the link to this font so that you can use it for yourself. Doing something different this year, instead of a shelfie, I'm just listing out the books that I read, because something that gets really confusing, especially the further on down the line we go, filling in my goal tracker gets really, really confusing the further down the line I get. It's like, okay, how many books have I actually read this year? So this is my solution to that. Number of the book, what number of the book that I read. So like first book, second book, third book, etc. Title / author, the start date, and the end date. That's my goal. I have my genre tracker. I just made these little tables in Canva. Super simple. You can draw them out if you want to. I just didn't really want to do that. And then of course we just have some deco bits from that clip art, from those clip art packs. This is two different clip art packs. I have my series tracker. Basically the idea is, as you can probably see here, anytime I finish the book, I would like to check it off. Technically, I have read up into Origin from the Robert Langdon series. However, with the new one that came out, well, 2025, I want to reread them because it's been a while. And then 2026 favorites. This page is pretty basic right now, but basically at the end of every single month, I pick my favorite book either based on vibes or the actual rating that I gave it, and it goes in these spots. And then eventually it gets covered up and everything looks great. Right now it's kind of boring. Anticipated releases, I did go through and fill out a little bit of this, but as of right now, like only to May has Goodreads like really posted what's being released next year. So I've got some books. There's a few that I'm like, ooh, that sounds really interesting, and others I'm just like, I feel like I need to read that. So, Books bought. I'm hoping to keep this as minimally filled out as possible, but you just never know. I may also add all of the books that I own currently that are not part of the Read My Stash stuff, if I can get to it. So we've got the 301 books that are wrapped up, minus the ones that are colored in. But I may add the ones from that I bought in 2025 to this list. And then I have a media tracker. So this is more for movies and TV shows that I watch. And then I have a game tracker for me to keep track of games that I play. So I've got the date, who it was with, the titles of the games, and any results. So, and then I have my DNF page. Now, my original goal was to kind of create like a open situation, but honestly, I DNF'd 4 books this year. I didn't think I needed an entire double page spread in order to fill that out. And maybe this year, maybe 2026 is the year where I just DNF everything. But my goal is just to kind of maybe line them up against the bridge, put them down here at the bottom, and basically just have book covers on here wherever I decide is a DNF. And then we move into my January setup. So this is relatively recent, but this is another clip art pack. Actually, it's another 2 clip art packs, I think. This might all be from the same one. I don't remember. But yeah, so this is January reads, and then I do have just a little bit of a setup here. So we have a calendar. This is from a clip art pack. Again, I will link it down below. I made this calendar in Canva as well as this page, and on here I have books read, total pages, average rating, and then my format tracker. So instead of having the 3 circles like I'm currently doing, let me show you. So instead of having these 3 circles here that have the formats, the genres, and the page counts, I'm just doing the one for the genre spread. I don't really care about average page ratings or page counts. I do have a total pages here. And then I have average rating. So the number of ebooks, the number of audiobooks, and the number of physical books. I may need to add the number of combo books on here because, of course, I do have a combo. Because usually it's just something that I've started out reading as a physical book and then switch to an audiobook for whatever reason. But yeah, that is my reading journal for 2026. All right, friends. So that was the flip through of my reading journal. I'm very excited. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so very much for watching. And I look forward to filling these notebooks and planners and journals up with all of the things, and I hope that you will join me. Yeah, if you have any questions, please leave them in the description box below. I'm not sure when this video is going to be uploaded, but it will definitely be uploaded before the new year. So I hope you all have a wonderful new year, and I look forward to what 2026 is going to be bringing us. So yeah, thank you all so very much for watching, and until I see you next time, bye-bye.